systems into Russia to escalate tensions with Iran. Barack Obama, if people didn't like George Bush, they're going to hate Barack Obama. This guy is a corporate creation of the banking elite in this country. And so, of course, while people are losing their jobs, and many economists, including Economist Magazine, are saying we're going into a depression, of course he's partying like it's 1999. Of course he's having a great time. Of course he's arrogantly up there making Benito Mussolini faces and, holding his head high with his chin up in the air. They want this guy to act like a messianic savior, and it's not going to work. They're setting up youth brigades, the compulsory national service in the United States. They're organizing like Mao Zedong did, a separate group outside government at usaservice.org where people will openly serve him just like Mao's Youth Corps. You cannot make this type of stuff up. The world needs to dread Barack Hussein Obama.
Okay, well, let's talk about the economic problems. The Democrats are known as a party which is good at solving economic problems. In your opinion, is the new president, does he have the experience to cope with the current economic problems?
Well, I mean, he works for the elite that engineered it. His new Treasury Secretary, Geffner, doesn't even pay income taxes like the rest of the public do. 65% of our Congress doesn't pay income taxes. They are above the law. They have exempted themselves from all the laws we have to follow. So people say, does he have the experience to save us? He doesn't want to save us. He doesn't want to help us. Did the oligarchs in your country in the mid-1990s want to save you? No, they wanted to blow the economy out with IMF World Bank shock therapy. They're going to do that here so they can devalue everything down to almost nothing so they can buy it up for pennies on the dollar. The Trilateral Commission, the CFR, they are all openly in publications admitting all of this to the public. So that's what's so incredibly outrageous. So no, Obama doesn't have what it takes to fix this because that's not his aim. That's not his goal. His goal is to sucker the public, to con them, to make them love him, and then betray them so they can get their agenda through. They are openly announcing in Newsweek magazine.
Let's talk about his approval rating then. And he enjoys an unprecedented approval rating, as we know, 82%, I believe. And how will people react if change doesn't happen soon? Is this high support a short-lived thing, would you say?
Yes. Obama and his Vice President Biden and all the major analysts say he has 150 to 200 days while the public is still somewhat suckered by him and this mass media hoax that he's actually a good guy when his open agenda is the opposite of what this country needs. And so the people are going to become disillusioned very, very quickly. The controlled corporate media here is hyping the fact that he's really got a 65% approval rating. It's really not that high. We've been talking to people on the ground in D.C. on my own radio show today, and they are saying, yeah, he is betraying us on warrantless wiretapping. He is betraying us, saying the troops are going to stay in Iraq. He is betraying us with this banker bailout. And so they're already becoming apprehensive, but the media in unison, this never happened in the U.S.
Well, why is it
totally
happening
behind
then?
him?
You make it sound like it's a conspiracy. Why would you say that the media is doing this? Why this big hoax that you're discussing, you're telling me about?
Well, no, I mean, the mainline corporate media is owned by the military-industrial complex and the private banks. And they want to take over the United States. They want to destroy the economy. They've stated this in their scholarly papers, not on the public nightly news, so they can consolidate. This is a conspiracy, but it is an open conspiracy, just like what the oligarchs did in Russia. It is the same group, it is the same crew out of England that are orchestrating this. That's why they are trying to cause a new Cold War with Russia, because they're angry that your government and your people kicked the oligarchs out. We have the same group of oligarchs in the United States that are doing this. So the media is all getting behind Barack Obama to whip up support so they can sell the public on going along with the wider agenda. They need that mass support so that the people, look, everything he's doing, he wants amnesty for illegal aliens, open borders. 91% Gallup polls are against that. He wants new banker takeover.
Well, let's talk.
That's unpopular.
Do you think then, in the light of what you've been saying, that the American political spectrum is likely to change under the new president, now that the Republican era is over. Is this an age of liberalism?
No, it's a false left cover. So that, I mean, just as Hitler, at first claimed he was a socialist and used left cover, he was really a fascist. Same thing with Benito Mussolini. We've seen this over and over again. We're going to see better rhetoric. We're going to see a slicker speaker with more deceptive tone, reaching out to the world, but in words only. The deeds are all the same. Everything Obama said he would do a year ago, he has now reversed. Promised to reverse the undue powers given to the presidency, the dictatorial powers. Under the John Warner Defense Authorization Act, PDD 51. He's now said with Stephanopoulos last week on national television that he agrees with Cheney that he's going to probably keep all those new undue powers that the presidency has taken on. So what's happening is the military-industrial complex owns both parties in this country. They brought George Bush in after Clinton to fool conservatives thinking things would change. George Bush tripled the size of government, put military on the streets of America, and now Barack Obama is expanding all of that because Barack Obama is a complete and total puppet of the elites. We haven't had a real president in the United States since they killed John F. Kennedy in 1963, and he warned Russia's own foreign minister that the military was considering staging a coup against him during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and that's why Russia went ahead and went for détente, because Kennedy reached out and said, listen, you understand they want to have a war. They want to stage terror attacks, Operation Northwood. So I believe that we're going to see an acceleration of what we had under Bush, but because he has a new face, because he's the first black president, people think that's changed, but that's only change on the surface. And look at who he's packing his cabinet with. General Jim Jones, Secretary of Defense Gates. They are bringing in all of these people who were in the Bush administration or the worst characters from the Clinton administration, and all these former IMF and World Bank heads and international bankers who were part of the banking oligarchy that has engineered the collapse that we're now under. The United States is being brought down by criminal oligarchs and is being looted by design. It's Obama's job to sit there and fool the public to go along with it. But then when you read the Army War College, they openly say that within a year to 2 years there will be open rebellion and insurrection in the streets. They admit they're going to use all the new anti-terror powers they claim were for Al-Qaeda against the American people. So,
can we talk about torture here? Obama spoke out against torture. Will his presidency be more transparent in terms of how he approaches human rights issues such as Guantanamo in the light of what you've been saying? Okay, no.
No. What he's going to do is they'll have better rhetoric. He's saying he's going to close Guantanamo, he may, says, within 6 months to a year. Okay? He's saying he will close it, but ABC News reported a week ago what we already knew. They have built 14 secret, and that's the headline, secret Guantanamos inside the United States. Before they did it outside the country. Now they've built 14 brigs, South Carolina, Texas, California. These will be totally secret, and they've just renamed harsh interrogation away from torture, and they are going to continue the torture, not to mention an unknown number of black ops sites, those sites where they torture people. In Georgia, the U.S. takes them there. In Ukraine, in Poland, in Egypt, and in Jordan, and those are just in Romania. These are the real torture camps. Guantanamo was just a public camp to condition the public of the United States to accept this. Now, Houston Chronicles reported they have built 4 1-million-man camps for the American people for daring insurrection. So no, you're going to see the huge apparatus for, quote, fighting Al-Qaeda swung around domestically, focused in against the American people.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Jones. You're obviously not going to see change. You don't see Obama as changing things the way everybody else is seeing him as a person for change. Alex Jones, radio host, live on the telephone from USA. Thank you so much for your views.
Thank you. I hope folks